Should be a great matchup today. I think both teams have tremendous offenses, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and you live for these games. So, and the weather's a little nasty today. It might have a little effect on it, but I think you're going to see a great game.
Exactly. Both of these teams kind of have running gun offenses. Liberty likes to do it a little bit more on the transition, whereas SCAD likes to set up a little bit and then take their shot. But we're looking for a good game today for this Division II Championship.
Yeah, you got a highlight for Liberty. Joe Gargiulio, he had a phenomenal game yesterday. I believe he had 5 goals.
At least 5 goals. That's what I counted yesterday. So, yeah, he's a phenomenal player, and we look to get some production out of him today.
Yeah, and I think like again in these championship games, these playoff games, you're going to see these two teams feeling each other out first, and then you're going to start to see it really get into a rhythm.
And we're about to go to the face-off as the two teams are squaring off in face-off X. In goal for SCAD, we have Polka. That'll be Creighton Polka. And in goal for the Liberty Flames, we have Ethan Kamholz, number 4. On the face-off, squirted out towards the near side, and it will go out of bounds. It will be called SCAD ball.
Yeah, and with the weather, you want to really be patient with the ball, especially in SCAD's case, right now. They are the type of team, they're a very methodical offense, and especially in this rain, you got to keep the tempo down.
At the top of the box, Michael McQuaid taking over as he will dodge and work around to the wing. Back to number 2, Sienkiewicz, Cody Sienkiewicz, as he will work around to the far wing and up to the top. Matthew Dean now at the top, looking for the dodge. He'll take a shot, and that'll be nicely saved by Kamholz.
Yeah, he didn't have much on that shot. They were in a 2-2 deuces set, SCAD, and the goalie made a good save, stick side high.
Now Liberty's attempting to clear here, taking their time, not quite past midfield yet, but they still have plenty of time to clear the ball. Pressure by SCAD is making that time run out. They get it over midfield and into the box just in time. Shot by 21, goal. That's Haywood, Derek Haywood.
That was a good start for Liberty. Haywood, he ran it in and no one picked him up, so he kept going to the cage and took a great shot.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they like to do. They like to work off that transition and just go to the goal.
Yeah, Liberty, the other Friday night they put up 21 on Palm Beach Atlantic, so they want that tempo and they want to get on it early.
Now last night the other team was able to hold them because they got back into position. They got back in their zone quickly. So that might be the key for SCAD here to keep for Liberty from scoring.
Yeah, if you're SCAD, you want to slow the tempo down with Liberty because they are such a high, potent offense. A highlight on Liberty number 2, Ron Miller. He had a great game yesterday against Emory, and looked to have him have a good game today.
Haywood at the top of the box. He's looking to dodge again. And will feed over the crease to the other side of the crease, and a shot by Kurt Tobias. That'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a great look. Just jumped up. He probably shouldn't have jumped high on that, but it was a good shot. It was a good inside roll by Miller.
Ryan Miller pushing inside, and looking for the shot is Makrovich. He won't be able to get it. He'll be pushed back outside onto Haywood now, and Armstrong at the top.
And Marakovic had a good game yesterday, too, for Liberty.
Oh, absolutely. He had at least 3 on the day for that. We don't have the official stats for that, but he had an excellent game as well.
Yeah, you have a flag down here. It looks like it's going to be a slash on SCAD. And Liberty still has possession, looking for that shot.
Bringing it up to the top. That would be Makrovich over to the wing now and back up to the top. Makrovich is going to hold on to it for just a second and then dodge in. He'll feed off. And, oh, not able to get a hold on the ball as Gargulio looking for the first shot of the day.
Yeah, you know, Marakovic has great field vision. You saw on that. He dodged a great dodge and fed the guy in the crease. That's one thing they do well. They have very good off-ball movement, Liberty.
And the penalty is indeed on SCAD. That'll be on Shelton Polka, as he'll sit out for a minute. Oh, actually 30 seconds, excuse me. And Liberty will work the ball back around up to the top with Haywood.
And Armstrong lost it there.
Absolutely. On the wing, working back up to the top, Haywood. Haywood taking the shot, and it doesn't quite get its blocked before it even gets to the cage. It'll be kicked out of bounds.
I believe Liberty was caught in the crease, and that was a great play by the defenseman on SCAD. He got a stick up there in the passing lane as the guy was taking a shot, actually.
Now SCAD will feed back out. Look for the clear. Working across is Gualteri. And now at the top of the box on the far wing, Gualteri. Slowing things down. Probably going to try to kill his penalty.
Yeah. They're going to look to kill the penalty and get set up in their offense. And at this point, you just played a lot of defense, SCAD, and you offensively, you got to play your game, slow it down, look for your shots.
McQuaid taking his time on the near wing. He'll pass off to Horsey. At the top to Polka. Polka took charge of this game yesterday, and it looks like he's going to do the same thing today.
Yeah, he had a lot of shots on net yesterday, and you know, he's a dangerous shooter, and that's something the Liberty's got to be concerned about.
Horsey about to dodge in. Looking for a lane. He work over to the far wing. He'll take a shot, and Camholz will save that at his feet.
Yeah, it was a good save by Camholz. And today, you know, the sticks may not be as fresh as they usually are because of the rain, so that might have an effect on both teams.
And as well as their footwork, they might. That's going to be a slippery field out there. As number 20 for that's Makrovich takes the shot, that will go out of bounds and be backed up by Ryan Miller.
Yeah, like I said, this Liberty offense is very athletic, and they got, you know, you can't just concentrate on one guy. All their offensive players can play.
Working around to the near side is Gargulio as he passes off to Makrovich, and at the top. Now dodging in is Armstrong. He'll pass off to Miller. Miller working inside the crease, a little behind the back shot, puts it across the front of the cage, and that'll be picked up by SCAD.
Yeah, SCAD held tight on that. Defense kind of collapsed on Miller as he took that shot, and now Polka. This is the guy you want for SCAD with the ball, especially when you need a goal. He's your go-to guy. So we'll see what he does in this rest of the game.
Absolutely, he may not have the bulk of the goals yesterday for SCAD, but he sure was the leader of this offense. As we see McQuaid working inside, he'll take the shot, and that'll be saved by Camholz.
Yeah, it was a good dodge by McQuaid on that. I think in this case scenario against this goal, you got to shoot high to low.
And working inside, Liberty on the transition, not able to get a feed off to the crease, and that'll come back into SCAD hands.
Yes. Unforced turnover on that. It's unfortunate because it's a possession.
That was Matthew Dean. He just not able to get a hold on the ball, out of bounds and over to Liberty. At the top, 28, Chris Armstrong. Slowing his team down. We won't see this a lot from Liberty. They like to be in transition. They like to move it fast. But they sure know how to they know how to settle it down and then look for their shot.
Yeah, and they move the ball extremely well, and they find each other, like Miller, this right there.
Miller feeds the crease and shot. That's his Gargulio's first shot of the day. That's a goal, and that will be 2-0 Liberty with 8:18 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a great dodge by Miller. He got a step on his guy and then drew the slide and found Gargiulo on the crease for the goal. It's a good start for Liberty, up 2-0, and you're kind of taking, I think SCAD right now is playing way too much defense. I think they need to settle the ball on offense, and I think if they let up another goal here, if you're Coach Cummins, you got to call a timeout and regroup your team.
And the rain's is coming down much harder now, so that's not going to help any of the players out there, except maybe to stay cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a coach, you don't like sitting in the rain like here, but as a player, it's fun to play in the rain, especially when you got the adrenaline flowing.
Facing off now, Liberty looks like they will come up with the face-off, and they'll work it back out. This is onto the near wing to Miller. Miller on the near wing again. And up to the top. This is Haywood. Off to the far wing and back up to the top. Haywood's kind of been controlling this offense so far today, it seems like, for Liberty.
Yeah. He just tried to do a flip pass to Haywood, Marakovic.
Yep, Marakovic tried to flip pass, and Haywood not able to get a hold on it, but he does recover the ball. And he'll work, feet across the crease, and shot by Strapelli. Strapelli with the first shot of the day for him.
Yeah, that was a great look across crease. The goalie, Polka, came up with a great save, and then there you go again. SCAD can hold on to it, handle it, and another turnover.
So Miller comes in with it, dodges, and he'll work around to X. Passing up to the top to Makovic. Now Haywood to Mrakovic. 7:03 left in the first quarter. Liberty 2-0.
Yeah, they're very crafty, and they're going to look to the open man. It seems to be that pass right at backside that they're looking for, and SCAD did a great job of collapsing on that.
Just getting their poles in the way and not able to complete that pass. Now SCAD will look to clear this one. They haven't had success clearing in the last couple of times, so we'll see what McQuaid can do with this as he steps it into the box.
And McQuaid is a Long Island guy, fellow Long Island guy, playing for SCAD. In this situation, if you're SCAD and they almost lost it here, looks like they're going to lose it here, you need to settle down in offense. Pull it out, call a play, look for an opportunity, because you're down 2-0. You can get right back into this game with a goal right now.
McQuaid now settling up at the top, waiting for everybody to get into position. Looks like he's going to dodge from the top. Yeah, Horsey able to get a hold of that ball, luckily, for SCAD, and he'll maintain possession for them. Polka now at the top of the box.
Yeah, you see Liberty's got the pull on Polka because you got to against him, because yesterday against St. Andrews, he was left open up in the middle a couple times. An errant pass. It can't happen.
Absolutely picked up by Gualtieri. And as another goal for Liberty on the transition, that is Joe Gargiulo again. That's his second on the day, and we have a player down, it looks like, for Liberty. As
that was Haywood. Haywood's down for Liberty. He made a great play, caught the ball, pushed it up the field, and I think it was a penalty on that, and it was a shot to the head. So they're going to be man up, Liberty, and right now, if you're SCAD, you're thinking like, we got to get back in this, and they're playing way too much defense right now.
Exactly. I mean, they haven't. You can look at the board; it's 3-0 Liberty up with 5:32 left, and they haven't been productive yet today. So, player for Haywood is still on the ground for Liberty.
Yeah,
and there we go. He gets up. Gotta love to see a player walk off the field.
Yeah, you hate, you don't want anybody getting hurt in this game. It is a rough game, and looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. That's as a former player, that's a pretty crappy feeling.
You know what? He's right back on the field. He's not even coming off, so looks like he's perfectly fine. Or he's just going to tough it out.
So it's going to be a man down face-off. It's unnecessary roughness call against SCAD, and you're digging yourself a hole early. They got to make a big stop here on man down.
Exactly, and that starts with the face-off here. As Liberty will come up with this face-off. Zupano, he's been showing up big for the D for Liberty all weekend.
Yeah, he was impressive yesterday against Emory.
Armstrong at the top, off to Haywood, and over to Mrakovic.
Yeah, their man-up's very, very good. They move the ball, they swing the ball around very well, and they're going to look to skip past it. You'll see here. And just got knocked down.
Actually, they were going looking for a pass over the crease to the top of the box, and SCAD got their sticks in there. Tries to feed the crease. Again, SCAD gets their sticks in there and able to intercept. Ball still on the ground, however. Scrum for it, and it will. Was that a shot?
No, that was a pass.
Was that a pass?
Yeah, that's going to go to SCAD. And on that was a force. Haywood forced it a little bit. I felt pull it back out. You know, you're going to get the opportunity. You just got to be patient.
Well, SCAD's going to get their opportunity now to clear. See if they can successfully get it down to the other end of the field.
Yeah, they've been playing defense this whole first quarter, so they really need to get something going on offense.
Polka taking his time, working out. Creighton Polka, by the way. Redirect over to the far wing. And SCAD will clear. Excuse me, Polka puts it on the ground. Sheldon Polka, but SCAD will clear.
Couldn't delay a game. They couldn't get it into the box. So another unforced turnover for SCAD.
I mean, you have 30 seconds to get it into the box, and especially with the pressure that Liberty's putting, it's been hard for SCAD, and they've not been able to come up easily with the ground balls. And we'll have a timeout for Liberty.
Yeah. SCAD's having a tough time getting the ball in there on offensive end. They're playing way too much defense. They got to get something going. They got to regroup. They came out a little sluggish. You know, it's still early. Plenty of lacrosse left, but this is the time to make your adjustments now.
It is Liberty 3-0 over SCAD with 3:44 left in the first quarter. I think the key to this game so far for SCAD, they got to clear the ball. They got to get it into their offensive zone.
Yeah, and if you watched on that last clear, the middies were breaking away from the goalie. You know, you don't want your middies breaking up to the offensive end until you get the ball. And they got to break down and give the goalie help. And the pole threw a pass. They got it over, but it took too long to get it into the offensive end, and that's why they lost the ball.
Exactly. Yeah, they were only 5 seconds out of the box over there, but not able to get it in. Timeout's over, and Liberty takes the field.
Yeah, it was a good timeout. They got the ball in. Coach probably brought him in and drew up a play. Like I said, they're getting opportunities. Those last couple, they kind of forced it. But Liberty's that kind of a team. You know, if they get going, they're almost like Georgia is. If they get going, they get on a run. It's hard to stop them.
We'll have Mrakovic bring it in for Liberty. We're having some technical difficulties for SCAD as they had too many players on the field. Up to the top of the box as Haywood loses the ball before he can pass it. He will again loses the ball. Haywood.
Yeah, it may be that it's slick out there, and sometimes you as a player you're already thinking to do what you're doing next before you catch the ball, and that's probably what happened in that situation.
Polka will start off with the possession for SCAD. He's going to look to clear it himself. He's not going to look to any of his teammates. Again, he likes to take charge of this offense, and he's doing that now.
Yeah, they need a goal here just to kind of get the momentum going for SCAD. You got about 3 minutes left in the quarter. You need a goal here just to kind of revitalize your team here.
Horsey drops the ball, picks it up, Horsey, he hasn't had a whole lot of goals, but he has had some important assists.
Great
just like
look on
that
the
one
crease.
right there.
Great look.
That was 29. That was Nathan Travis with that goal for SCAD to put the SCAD on the board 3-1.
Yeah, that was a great look by Horsey. What happened was the defenseman got caught looking, and he found Nathan Travis on the crease for the goal. And they needed that. They needed that because now that gives you a little momentum to build on.
Absolutely, and you know they're starting to come back at this point, 3-1, as we go back to the face-off. Mrakovic for SCAD, and for Liberty, Charles Fianco.
Yeah, ground balls are so key in championship games like this.
And Liberty comes up with the ground ball, looking for the feed to the crease, not able to get it. As we have, I believe that's Gargulio on the ground now. He was the one that was looking for the feed and just not able to get a handle on it, and he got hit as a result.
Yeah, it's getting a little physical out there. I mean, SCAD did another great job on that when they knocked the ball down. The defender had to stick up. And as a coach, that's what you like to see your defense doing.
Liberty will start out again. Armstrong at the top. Off to Haywood. Ryan Miller now in the game. And he'll dodge from the top corner. He'll be pushed back out by the slide and feed off to X. Working around inside, look for the shot.
The flag is down. There's a flag down there, and it either looks like a hold or a slash.
That was Mrakovic with the looking for the shot there. So that's going to be on SCAD, I believe.
Yep. Another opportunity for Liberty, another man-up opportunity. You know, SCAD's been in the box a couple times already. It's only the end of the first quarter. You want to kind of limit those penalties, especially in a championship game like this.
We got Hunter Hook in the box for SCAD as Liberty takes over now. Haywood at the top. Working out to...
They started off in a 3-3, and it looks like they're going to a 1-3-2 here.
1:37 left in the first quarter, 3-1. Liberty up. Back at X now is Armstrong. Oh, and a nice little low shot there by Kurt Tobias, his first on the day, and that'll be from about 20 yards out there.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. That's what they do, and I highlighted it earlier. You know, they look to do that skip pass, and they got it through that time, and that's where on man down, you tell your defense to keep their sticks up in the passing lanes.
So it's 4-1 now, Liberty over SCAD with 1:26 left in the first quarter. Legal procedure on Liberty, so SCAD gets a chance now with this possession with 1:20 left. Let's see if they can do something with it.
Yeah. They're going to find opportunities. They just need the ball, and they need possession here.
McQuaid looking to dodge from the top. He'll be pushed back out, and some nice work on by the defense for Liberty there. McQuaid still with the ball on the near wing. Look, has a gap. He'll take a shot. That was really just no angle to take a shot there. And that'll go out of bounds. It is backed up by Sinkowitz.
Yeah, that was no angle on that. And if you're going to go to the cage like that, you got to go back inside, not run away from the cage and shoot it. Because right now, with 39 seconds left, SCAD needs to just go to the cage and look for a good shot.
And that looks like what Matthew Dean's going to do. And he gets a nice trail check before he's able to get the shot off. And Liberty will take possession of the ball with 20 seconds left.
In that situation, you want Polka having the ball. If you need a goal if you're going to go to the cage with 30 seconds left, he's your go-to guy.
And it looks like Liberty might just sit back here. No, I'm corrected. They feed the crease. Shot, goal. That was Gargulio. Is that right?
Yeah, that was Gargulio.
Yeah, Gargulio. That's his hat trick on this day.
Yeah, he's been hot. I mean, he's the hot hand, and you know, Liberty does a great job of field vision. They see the field very well. I mean, each one of those guys on offense, they're all their attackmen in their first midfield. They're like quarterback. All of them are quarterbacks out there, and you just saw it right there. That crease is wide open.
Just under 4 seconds left, so we'll pretty much have enough time to do this face-off before the first quarter expires. SCAD will come up with the face-off, but they won't have time to really do anything with it as a shot is taken by Gualteri, but it will go. Fianco facing off for Liberty as looks like Henry Douglas, Douglas Henry for SCAD will face off.
And one.
And Fianco comes up with yet another face-off.
Another possession for Liberty.
As we're on the near wing to Kurt Tobias. Tobias one goal on the day already. And over to the far side to Ryan Miller. Mrakovic, and then to Haywood.
Haywood's a very good dodger, and he's very smooth the way he plays. You got to be, defensively, you need to pack it in a little bit. You know, they're going to try and spread you out, and that's what they do well, and they look to feed that crease.
A lot of slides there by SCAD as a lot of confusion in the center by Liberty. And Haywood looks to take a shot, and he will. That'll be saved by Polka and fed back out. Oh, another shot by Kurt Tobias. Tobias able to get that rebound and shoot it. Now SCAD takes possession of the ball. Polka now with the ball on the far side.
Yeah, Polka, he's been quiet thus far, but, he's a guy you want dodging too. He's got the best stick out there for SCAD on offense.
Exactly. He sits back at X right now, waiting for everybody to get into position. And he'll feed out to McQuaid.
Just be patient here. There's plenty of time left. And there's a lot of lacrosse left. Work to get open. Before it worked, they found an open guy. You just got to be patient.
McQuaid looking inside. He'll be trail checked before he's able to get that off, and Liberty will take possession.
Yeah, left the stick hanging there. Made a great dodge, but you got to keep that stick tucked.
Liberty will clear, and up to the top is Mrakovic. Off to the wing now with Armstrong. On the near wing, we have Tobias. And over to Mrakovic again. Mrakovic on the far wing and passing back to X.
Yeah, Liberty's being patient. I mean, it's one thing they're doing right now is being patient, and they're moving off ball. If you see in the middle, they're constantly moving, and as a coach, that's what you love to see offensively.
Armstrong puts the ball on the turf. He'll pick it back up, feed it in, and that'll be Mrakovic with the shot, the goal to put Liberty up 6-1.
Yeah, once again, just great ball movement. Great off-ball movement, I meant to say. And, right now SCAD takes timeout, down 6-1.
And, Liberty has really spread the scoring out today. You got Gargulio with 3, but you have Mrakovic, Haywood, and Tobias with 1 each. So they like to spread it around. Nathan Travis with the only score for SCAD at this point.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before is Liberty's offense is so powerful, and each one of those guys are like a quarterback out there. You can't just focus on one guy because they're all good.
Exactly, and Gargulio actually, he's been consistent for both games, putting up big numbers for this Liberty team. So hopefully we'll probably see more out of him today. Since he's scored his 3, we have seen it spread out a little bit more, but I imagine we'll be hearing from him again.
Yeah, he's like one of those attackmen that just hang out on the crease and get those goals. I mean, if you can figure that out in there and get in tight and be able to score in tight, and that's what he's been doing all weekend pretty much.
And as SCAD breaks their huddle, we'll get back to the face-off, as we'll still have Fianco facing off for Liberty. SCAD likes to mix it up a little bit with their face-off guys. Looks like we have Nathan Travis, is that right? And facing off.
Yes. Yep. Charles Fianco he's been pretty good on the draws all game for Liberty, and he just got the ground ball there.
Yes, he did. So Liberty will take possession, wait for their men to get in position. As Mrakovic kicks a little ground ball there, but he'll pick it up nicely, and he'll like you said, quarterback this team into position here.
Yeah,
he's taking his time, and that's something we didn't see. Miller now breaking inside. He'll decide better and move the other way. And I'm not. Who was he trying to pass to there?
I think he was trying to get it back to Haywood, and he stepped back, and it came out of his stick the wrong. The defenseman had a good check on his hands, and as a coach, you want your defenseman to play the hands because that's what happens.
Liberty still with the ball, scooping it out. Miller again at the top. Miller feeding over to Haywood and over to Bias. Haywood again on the far side. Mrakovic. And at X, Armstrong. Armstrong comes in, tries to feed the crease. Not able to get a hold on it. Ball will go out towards midfield where Tobias will pick it up and bring it back in.
Yeah, they're just being patient, and they're looking for the right opportunity. Right there, he's kind of a forced pass on that one, but
able to get a hold of it. But Horsey was there with the interruption in that pass. The ball will go out to the far sideline. That's Haywood able to get a hold on it before it goes out of bounds. Attempting to feed the crease to Ryan Miller. Miller not able to get a hold on it. SCAD will take possession as Creighton Polka feeds out.
Some of these passes, these errant passes, I think it's because the netting on the stick's getting wet, and sometimes it happens, especially when it's raining this hard. That plays into effect. And right now, if you're SCAD, you really want to slow it down because you're down by 5, and like I said, they've been playing defense most of the first half.
On the wing now is SCAD. Up to the top is Horsey. Now McLean dodging inside. Not showing a lot of patience there. So not sitting back a whole lot. As a feed to the crease shot by Nathan Travis, but that's saved by Cam Holes, and it will be fed back out to Liberties.
Yeah, on that last shot, I don't think Travis got he only got a little piece of that. I think it was a nice look, but you got to finish. And
we have a goal, another goal for Liberty. That would be Joe Gargulio with his 4th. We also have a flag down on the field, so we'll see what that is.
It might be a slash or a late hit. I think you can just tell. It's been like this. SCAD's a little off today, and they're having a hard time figuring out Liberty on offense.
And that's where Emory came up big yesterday. They were able to get a hold on Liberty's offense. In the end, it didn't help. It helped a little bit, but it didn't work out for them. But maybe SCAD can figure out that today as well. 7-1. Liberty on top, 9:02 as we go to the face-off.
And talking to Coach McQuillan from Liberty yesterday, prior to their game against Emory, he said he wanted to score early and often against them. And Emory is that type of team. They were slow it down team.
Liberty comes up with the face-off. Quick feed on the transition. That would be Joe Gargulio looking for another one. Not able to get a hold on the ball, I don't think, as it goes over the cage. Liberty will back it up and bring it in now.
Yeah.
Ryan Miller driving to the crease, loses it as he cuts out. So it will be SCAD ball now as Horsey brings it down to the other end. Horsey passes off, tries to feed the crease, and it's just too high, not able to be pulled in, and it will go back to Liberty.
Yeah, another unforced turnover.
That's plagued SCAD this game, whether it be not being able to clear or just errant passes, as we see Liberty working, attempting to clear themselves.
Yeah, the SCAD cannot get into a rhythm on offense right now.
Think it has anything to do with the rain, or is it just after playing for 2 days before? This is their third game.
It's probably all a mixture of everything. And, Liberty, I think is a lot deeper on offense and at the midfield X too. I mean, getting possessions and ground balls.
And we see a couple of new players that we haven't seen out there yet, such as Travis Briggs. Excuse me, that's Strapelli. We have seen him out there before. Chris Armstrong now with the ball at the top. Strapelli passing off to Armstrong again. Some pressure by SCAD. Armstrong unfazed as he tries to feed the crease, and that will go a little bit wide of his intended target and out of bounds. And in SCAD possession.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to throw that, and the guy wasn't open, so in that situation, you just pull it back out and start up your offense again.
Far side of the field now is Horoff, Cody Horoff, as he brings it in and clears the ball. Back to the Sinkowitz. On the wing now to Nathan Travis, and up to the top to McQuaid.
Yeah, here comes Polka's coming in, and he needs to get more involved in this offense. And he needs to go push the cage a little bit.
Yeah, he's been very quiet so far. He'll pass off to McQuaid as McQuaid dodges in and thinks better, goes back to X to Sinkowitz. Sinkowitz works around, double teamed. As he gets an open lane, he'll take a shot, and that's saved. The rebound still on the ground.
Yeah, they're just getting frustrated now, SCAD. They're just trying to shoot at will, and you don't want to do that. It's still too early in the game to be doing that.
Exactly. And as we have a flag on the field for a slash, I believe that's going to be against SCAD.
Yeah. I think, and you saw this yesterday in the Virginia Tech-Georgia Tech game. Virginia Tech was getting frustrated with Georgia Tech with their defense because they weren't getting any opportunities and their offense wasn't getting in a rhythm, and you're seeing that here today.
Yeah, they start to get chippy out there once they get a little frustrated. So we have Mrakovic bringing it into Hayward and off to X. Back at X now is Miller, off to Tobias. Tobias working it up the wing. Liberty keeping it back at X. They'll take a shot. That's Mrakovic. It will be backed up by Tobias. And Tobias brings it in.
Yeah, that was a great skip pass. Mrakovic just threw it a little high over the net.
Haywood off to the wing, up to Mrakovic. Shot, Armstrong. And that'll be backed up as well.
Well, if they're getting their opportunities, just not getting the ball on net.
Mrakovic again at the top. Armstrong off to Tobias. Armstrong. They're not. They're keeping it in front of the cage. There we go. We go back to X. Back to Tobias.
Illegal screen on that, on Liberty. Liberty moves the ball very well, as you saw.
Yes, they do, and especially when it's they have dry sticks, they can move it with great efficiency. We have Polka out of the cage, and he'll draw a penalty. And not able to put it on goal is Tobias, with no one in the cage.
Yeah, he was way out of position on that goal, and there was just an unnecessary penalty. They're just out of rhythm. You can just tell. I don't know what it is, but SCAD's out of rhythm, and they're going to have the halftime to really kind of, make adjustments because they need it right now.
I think maybe Creighton Polka was a little bit frustrated there and just trying to make a play. It's 7-1, 5 minutes left in the first half.
It's frustrating, when as a whole team you get frustrated when you're not scoring and you're playing a lot of defense. And as soon as you get the ball on offense, the first thing to do is we got to get back in the game, and you start shooting at will.
Haywood passing off. He just able to pick up a high pass, feed the crease. As SCAD will take possession here. Heavy defense on SCAD, but SCAD will work it down to the other side of the field and clear. Polka now with the ball on the transition, takes a shot, not able to put it in the cage.
Well, even though he didn't put it in the cage, that's what you need. He needs to shoot the ball more.
It's not been in his hands as much as it has in the past 2 games, and I think that's what they're missing. Polka again with a shot, rips it, and Cam Holt's able to pull that one up easily.
Yeah, you want him shooting the ball, but in that situation, you want a bounce shot. That goalie's been saving everything high.
Cam Holt's under pressure, working out towards midfield. He'll pass out, and Travis Briggs not able to come up with the ball, out of bounds, and over to SCAD.
Yeah, SCAD's going to, like I said, you have 4 minutes left in the half. You're down 7-1. Be patient. I think they're panicking a little bit, and rightfully so, it happens. But, they need to keep composure, be patient, and look for their opportunities.
Horsey to bring it in off to Sinkowitz. Back up at the top now. Working out to the far wing. And up at the top is McQuaid. Horsey again. Dodging. Feeds the crease. Not able, that's Farabee. Farabee gets a hold on the ball, but he will get checked and not able to take that shot.
You got a transition here.
And, for a missed pass for Ryan Miller. But for a missed pass, he would have put that right in the back of the cage. SCAD will take possession, and Horsey will bring it down the field.
It was great movement, just an errant pass.
Exactly, and that just might be a result of wet sticks. It's been amazing. This must be some great turf because I'm not seeing a lot of players slipping or anything, even though it's very wet out there.
Yeah, it's great about this field turf. It's like synthetic grass, and you can wear cleats on it, and it's not slippery as AstroTurf is, or if you're on a grass field.
Back at X now, Gargulio off to Tobias, and up to the top to Haywood. Strapelli working around the near wing, and off to Tobias again. Armstrong, and up to the top of the box. Now to the far wing to Miller. Miller kind of settling it down back at X. And Tobias will drive from X to the cage. He'll push it out to the near wing, off to Armstrong. And now Miller at the top near midfield. We're going to have to turn it over. I didn't catch that. I don't know. It might have been a delay game, or they didn't get in the box in enough time. That's frustrating. It was a great look, and I think he was looking to shoot before he caught that. Absolutely. Horsey was lined up for the shot, but just not able to put it in.
That was a great pick off by Polka right there.
Absolutely. And then Polka will feed it back out. Now over midfield and into the box is Cody Horoff.
Yeah, that was a cross check. He brought the cross and right across his shoulders. So I knew that was coming. That was a great effort by Cody Horoff, another Long Island guy. Yeah, this is an opportunity for SCAD to get in here now, and to get a goal and get some momentum carrying into the second half. You got a minute and 26 left. Use most of the minute you have, and run a play off and get a goal.
And we'll come in with Sinkowitz off to Matthew Dean, and McQuaid at the top. Back to Dean, and back to Sinkowitz. Looks to take a shot. Dean thinks better. Little bouncer by SCAD, that'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't know what SCAD has here in this man up, but if I'm SCAD, I would stick Polka up top. He's your gun, and they have him on the crease. He's in behind right now, but you know he's your guy.
Yeah, that was Farabee with that last shot, as Polka will pick up a ground ball to save it from Liberty, and McQuaid again passing off to Nathan. Off to Sinkowitz. Nathan takes the shot. Excuse me, Travis takes a shot, and that won't be backed up by SCAD, and it'll be Liberty ball.
Yeah, that time they didn't have any backing up the cage, and that's frustrating as a coach. I know when that happens, it drives me crazy. A missed opportunity, you know.
Cam Holtz working it way down the field. He'll pass off to Miller. That's some confidence by your goalie right there. That if you're back almost in the restraining box for your defensive side, as a timeout's called. Yeah,
Liberty's going to call a timeout. You got 26 seconds to draw up a play up to get a goal here before half. SCAD just doesn't look into it. They're out of the rhythm. They're and you know what happens? You have a long weekend of lacrosse. Sometimes the weather, it's a lot of things that play into it. The big thing for them is to keep their composure. And, you got to build on it. You got to make adjustments.
Yeah, SCAD's used to playing in Savannah. Maybe it's a little too cold for them up here.
Well, these guys at Liberty, they're probably used to playing in the rain. Those cold winters up in Virginia are probably, this is probably easy for them.
Absolutely. As 26 seconds or 27 seconds left, Liberty's up 7-1 over SCAD. It's been all Liberty this game.
Yeah, it has. They've had the ball, I think, 80% of the time, maybe 85% of the time. And SCAD's got to start winning the ground ball battle. They got to be more patient on offense. You need to incorporate Polka. Even if he has the long stick on him, he should still push the cage. He's got a hard enough shot where he can shoot from outside, and you got to start putting good shots on this goalie. I feel like he hasn't really been tested, the Liberty goalie, this game.
And Polka's not even on the field as we have 27 seconds left. So I guess they have a excuse me, Liberty has possession of the ball. Ryan Miller to bring it in.
Yeah, right here defensively, you don't want to slide too early because they look to feed that crease, and keep your eye on 16 on the crease, Goriglio.
And we have Armstrong at the top dodging. He'll try to feed over to Mrakovic.
They slid way too early on that.
And Miller with the shot, that will be nicely saved.
That was a great save by Polka.
And that's the end of the first half. We'll take a break and join you back after halftime. What do you think about this game so far? I mean, before we go to halftime.
It's Liberty. It's all Liberty right now. SCAD's out of it. Hopefully they can make some adjustments at halftime to get back into the game. But right now, Liberty's been everything's working for them. They're finding the open man. They're playing good defense. They're winning the face-offs, winning the ground ball battle, and that's the keys to winning a game.
Well, all right. You heard it from Pat Aurelio. We'll come back in just a moment and see you after halftime. Pat, what are some keys to this game for these teams?
Well, if you're Liberty, you keep doing what you're doing. It's been working, and they're successful at it. If you're SCAD, you got to come out. You got to make some adjustments, and I hope they did. And you got to come out high flying. You got to get possessions. You got to get goals. And Polka's got to get them going here because he seems like the only guy who's really can do anything. Horsey's good. But they need a production on offense, and they can't play too much defense.
And they cut about a minute off of halftime to get started a little bit early. So we'll go to the face-off now. As Liberty, Fianco will get the ground ball, but we're going to have a turnover.
Yeah, let's see how SCAD comes out here offensively. I mean, a little more aggressive. That was a great look on the crease, and I don't know if they're going to call this a push in the crease and they did. It is a push, so it'll stay with SCAD.
Douglas Henry tried to take the shot, got pushed into the crease, so SCAD will bring it in. Sinkowitz at X. Polka still in the crease there, not in a position to take any control of anything. As we have McQuaid working from the outside, dodging in.
They're very quick to slide, Liberty. So SCAD's got to look for that open man, and whoever's man is sliding, they have to follow that slide so they can have an opportunity for a feed for a shot.
And here's Polka. He's going to dodge in, work over to the near wing, and pass off to Nathan Travis. Travis working over to the near wing. And Polka back into the center.
Yeah.
Back into the crease.
You know, SCAD's doing a better job being more patient. There we go. They don't have a backup. I mean, that's killer right there.
Yeah, that was a shot by McQuaid. No backup, so it'll be a Liberty ball. Out at midfield now. That will be Makrovich working out to the top of the box to Armstrong.
Yeah, they're again. You gotta. This is gonna be tough for SCAD if you're gonna sit back and let Liberty pick you apart, and they've been doing that pretty successful all game.
Tobias feeds over to Ryan Miller as he runs past the cage. Might have been a little late there on that pass. Tobias again now on the near side.
Yeah, if you look inside, Liberty has some great movement inside, off-ball movement. And, you know, you got to keep big eye on man, little eye on ball on defense.
At the top now, dodging in is Armstrong.
That was good. Stick was in the passing lane for SCAD on defense there.
And Liberty able to take back control of the ball. And they'll work it around. Again, Liberty not a lot of transition scoring, but they're sitting back and right now and just waiting for their opportunity. Miller at the top.
Yeah, they're being patient, and you know they're running methodical. That referees just put the shot clock on, so they're going to have to within 30 seconds either get a goal, hit the pipe, or hit the goalie.
And they take that shot. Looked like that might have been a little wide.
Yeah, that didn't count, so it's still on.
That was Kurt Tobias with the shot. So our 30-second shot clock still on. Gargulio passing off from X. Out to the top.
You're going to see
off
them
to
shoot
Armstrong. It. Armstrong feeds the crease. Miller, shot, goal. That'll put Liberty up 8-1.
Yeah, and you know, in any game, that first goal, the third quarter, really kind of dictates the momentum of the second half. And right there, SCAD, that's something SCAD didn't need to happen. You know, they had the ball on offense, and they were possessing it great and being patient, and then they took a bad shot and gave the ball over to Liberty. And Liberty's, like I said, they are all quarterbacks out there. Every one of them can feed. Every one of them can shoot. And you saw in that situation, Miller made a great cut, caught it, and scored.
And Fianco comes up with the face-off for Liberty. Actually, the ball on the ground, and SCAD looks to come up with it. That's Polka taking charge. Polka will run to the cage, take the shot, and that'll be saved by Cam Holst.
Yeah, that was a push on Liberty. And so SCAD will keep the ball. And SCAD right now is they got to start scoring. It's simple as that. You want to be patient, but you also want to start scoring.
McQuaid at the top now, out near midfield. He's going to take his time, dodging in from the top, and he'll put the ball on the turf, quickly pick it back up. Back at X now. SCAD working around.
and they lost possession. He got pushed out of bounds, stepped on the line. Just really a turnover they don't need right now.
Liberty working across midfield as Supano will take control. Off to Tobias.
Yeah, they got that second midfield line in there to give that first midfield on a break. And here comes Haywood. Haywood's, he's been good today too. He's an incredible dodger, and he can feed the ball.
Haywood a goal already on the day. Feeds the crease. Tobias tried to a little behind the back shot there. Wasn't quite lined up properly, and that'll go out to the far wing where it'll be retained by Liberty as Tobias fights for the ball, and SCAD will pick up the ground ball and feed back out.
They got lucky on that one. Oh, another turnover. You got to be able to clear the ball, especially in games like this, these possessions.
Absolutely, and Liberty going to take advantage of this one. No, excuse me, that was in the side of the cage.
Yeah, really had no angle on that.
No.
If you're going to take a shot like that, you're going to come at least above goal line extended.
I thought that was kind of an amazing shot for where he was, but that was Miller with the shot. And Polka will work back out across midfield. Off to Farabee, and at the top to McQuaid.
What the Liberty's doing on defense is when SCAD dodges from up top, they're looking to slide very early, and that guy whose man is sliding, you have to follow that slide, and they have to look for the open man. Like right there, you got to call that, and you got to look to dump it.
Matthew Dean passes off and is intercepted by Zupano for Liberty. Looking for the transition goal here is that's Miller. He'll put it just to the wide of the goal. Liberty there to back it up, and they'll bring it back in.
Yeah, right now. I mean, Liberty's clicking on all cylinders right now, and SCAD doesn't have an answer for it right now.
Gargulia drops the ball and able to pick it up, hold off his defender, and pick it up to maintain the possession. Armstrong at the top now.
They're going to be patient, and they're going to look. They're going to look to feed that crease or that skip pass. Yesterday against Emory, they had a lot of outside shots for goals, but today's a lot of the goals have been inside, and you're going to see them look to do it again.
Exactly. Well, Emory had the crease pretty well tied up, so I think that's the difference here. Whereas Liberty's able to get inside, tries to feed the crease. Liberty does, and the ball put on the ground.
It's referee's called a holding on Liberty when the ball was loose, so it's going to go over to SCAD.
SCAD arguing the goalie Polka, arguing one of the refs, and looks like we have another flag on the field. Did you see what that was? Oh, it was a technical.
This is a technical. I didn't see exactly what the call is. It may have been a delay game, or I really don't know what it is. And it looks like it's on Liberty, and it'll be a 30-second penalty.
It's 8-1 Liberty over SCAD with 8:23 left in the third quarter. As SCAD will bring it in, Polka going to come out to midfield.
Yeah, it's this is another. It's a man-up opportunity for SCAD, and if you see right here, Polka's up top. They need him to shoot. Absolutely,
he's been very quiet in this game, and even the opportunities that he has had. Oh, and there's a shot goal for SCAD by Sinkowitz. Sinkowitz to put them up 8-2.
Yeah, they needed that, and they need to get on a roll here. And the game of lacrosse, just because you're up 8-2 doesn't mean you're going to win 8-2. You saw if anybody watched the North Carolina Duke game on Friday, North Carolina was up 10-3, and the final score ended up being 18-17. So anything can happen.
Once you win a face-off, I mean, if you win your face-offs, and which SCAD's doing right now, as that's Douglas. He'll pass, or Henry. Pass off to Horsey at the top. Off to McQuaid.
Yeah, McQuaid needs to push the cage too. He's got a good shot too, and you want the ball on your best offensive player's stick right now.
Exactly, and pretty much so far today, our best players for SCAD have been have not really come up. As Polka, speaking of one of our best players for SCAD, is dodging over to the far wing. He'll pass off to McQuaid. McQuaid thinking better, not seeing the lane, and he'll come out near midfield. Dodging from the top. And back at GLE is Sinkowitz.
Yeah, and it's good. They're being patient right now, and they're looking for their opportunity, which they should be.
Horsey at the top. Horsey's a tall kid, and he takes a shot. Goal.
He's a big frame.
Yep, absolutely, and he uses that that frame to get around his defender and get the goal there.
Well, he's got a tall frame, and he dodged and he protected the stick very well on that, and took a great bounce shot and hit in the upper right corner. Like again, it's big in lacrosse. You can come right back in the game, and right now this is a big face-off. Possessions are key.
If Douglas Henry can keep winning, but Fianco will come up with this face-off. Still on the ground. And that was a big hit on Henry. But Liberty, no flags. Yep. Liberty will come up. There's the flag right there. And out of bounds off a Liberty stick.
Yeah, Darren Martin just brushed the side of one of the players, the long pole for Liberty, Riley Mate, right across the head. They're going to call that. Even though he didn't hit too hard. I'm sorry. Check that. Michael Zampano. Michael Zampano went to pick up the ground ball, brushed him on the helmet. You know, the referees are going to call that. And that's a penalty that SCAD really didn't need to take. When you're playing defense like that as a coach, you want your guys to play under control and play hands. Don't bring the stick up high.
Armstrong to bring it in. Back to X with Miller. Miller over to Tobias. Miller and Tobias playing catch at X. Tobias works it around, feeds up top. Feeds across. That is to Gargulio. And he'll save it before it goes out of bounds. Back to Miller at X.
Miller's dangerous behind the cage because he can shoot and he can feed. And just some errant passes.
They're able to correct for them, though, at this point, as Makravic comes up with the ground ball there. And Haight.
Yeah, what SCAD's got to do in this situation is keep their sticks up in the passing lane. They've been doing it pretty well all game, but they got to continue to do that, especially against this man up.
At the top, Armstrong, Chris Armstrong, dodges in, looking for the feed. That'll be a high pass, and looks like Liberty will get there in time. This wet grass is slowing the ball down, which is good for these teams that are have some of these errant passes. They're not getting out of bounds quite as quickly. Rakovic at the top, feeds, takes the shot. That would be Tobias with the shot, and that is his second on the day, Kurt Tobias.
Yeah, they got caught sleeping there, and it was a great shot. He got just enough above goal line extended to get that shot, and it was great placement.
So 9-3, Liberty on top. Score hasn't changed a whole lot. It might have some more points, but the difference is about the same as it was at the end of the first. 5:07 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, just frustration on the part of SCAD on that.
As Lozada comes in, and he'll come right back out as he picks up the face-off. They'll hand it off to the far wing and Tobias.
Yeah, Liberty, like I said, they've controlled the ball most of the game. I mean, SCAD's had their couple of moments where they've had the ball, but they turn it over so fast. And Liberty's doing a great job, and they're looking for the open man.
At the top to Haywood. Now off to Makravic. Haywood again. They're just playing some catch up there, taking their time. Makravic dodging inside. He'll pass off to Gargulio. Gargulio looking for the shot, and that will be picked up by SCAD. The shot goes across the front of the cage, and Polka with the ball now.
Yeah, that was a good defensive stand by SCAD. Now they look to have to clear the ball right now. And in this situation, you can have your mates breaking off field. They have to break back down towards the ball in order for them to clear it. And they had a hard time doing it. And here you go, right there.
Right there, trail check right into the stick of Gargulio. And, I mean, he wants to take advantage of it, but he'll swing back out and allow his team to get in position.
Yeah, Liberty does a great job of riding. And riding, you know, I mentioned this last night, is a lost art in the game of lacrosse. A lot of teams don't do it anymore. And what it does is it essentially creates turnovers and gets you possessions. And that's what it's done for Liberty all game.
It also makes the field a lot shorter when you can get that turnover at midfield instead of having to go all the way back down to your defensive end. As Armstrong with the ball, looking at X, he'll pass off to Tobias. Feeds the crease. That's Gargulio looking for the shot, and that will go out of bounds. That was a little wide, I believe.
It was a great look, and that's been the look all game on the crease.
Yeah, they've just been feeding that crease beautifully, and when they get a hold on it, they're taking that shot. That was a little wide, but yeah, a lot of them have found their mark.
Yeah, Gargulio's the typical crease attackman. You know, he'll get open, he'll finish, and that time he just missed on that.
SCAD in possession now on the near wing. Horsey taking advantage over to McQuaid. McQuaid dodging in, takes the shot, and that'll be saved by Cam Holst. That was right at the knees of Cam Holst.
That was a good save. I mean, it was a good shot as well. I mean, you'd rather, as a coach, see him take a good hard bounce shot and have the goalie save it than throw it right into his stick.
Ball on the ground, still on the ground. Scrum for it as
yeah, that was interference on Liberty, so we'll stay with SCAD.
Okay, so SCAD will Polka will start out with it off to McQuaid. McQuaid on the near wing. Horsey dodging inside. McQuaid will walk it up to the top of the box. Polka, we're seeing Polka at the top of the box now as McQuaid takes a shot. That'd be a bouncer across the front of the cage and out of bounds where it looks like Liberty got there first.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Holtz feeds out off to Hayward.
Well, you know, this just the turnovers. The turnovers really hurt SCAD today. The lack of possession time, and Liberty has controlled most of the tempo of the whole game.
Exactly. There's 1:15 left in the third. It's 9-3, and Liberty yet again in control of the ball, as they have been for, like you said earlier, about 80% of the game. SCAD just not able to capitalize on some of their turnovers in their defensive end of the field, not able to clear them. As at the top, we have Gargulio feeding in to Armstrong. Armstrong takes a shot. That'll go a little wide.
That was a great look. Just got to bury those.
Armstrong again on the wing, feeds the crease. That's Gargulio. He gets pressured in the crease and will maintain the ball but be pushed outside.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier. Emery yesterday did a phenomenal job crashing on that crease and forced Liberty to take outside shots.
Exactly, and they've been able to get a lot of inside shots today, so I guess SCAD didn't watch that game yesterday. 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's, you know, like I said, they're a very crafty offense, and you got to be on your heels. And I think what's happening here is, you know, SCAD's getting very frustrated overall the whole team. So that's where mistakes are made when you get frustrated on all sides of the field.
SCAD does get the turnover as Mrakovic takes a shot, and that would be the end of the third quarter. That Division I championship game.
Oh, that's going to be a great game. It was a great game last weekend.
Absolutely.
They played, and they get to play again, and you'll probably see a good crowd here. It's a rivalry game, and it'll get chippy. I think it'll be a classic.
And on the face-off, SCAD will come up with the ball. Polka taking charge right now. And like we've said before, Polka is just not living up to what he did in the last two games. I mean, he was a powerhouse. He was the quarterback of this team, and we're just not seeing that. We're seeing that more out of McQuaid at this point.
Yeah, what they're trying to do, and Liberty, they're just doing a great job. They're putting the pole on Polk at all times, and he doesn't want to dodge against the pole. He wants that shorty, which he had against St. Andrews.
Sinkowitz with the shot, and that'll be nicely saved by Cam Hulse.
Yeah, and Polk he's got a great outside shot, and they're gonna need him. He's only taken one shot today, and from your top offensive producer, you need to take more than one shot.
And Liberty now in their offensive zone with a chance turnover from SCAD at the top. Mrakovic at the top of the box, off to Miller on the far wing.
Yeah, Liberty's not going to be in a rush here. They're gonna run some clock and look for the right opportunity. They don't at this point. They don't need to push the cage too much, and rightfully they shouldn't, because they have a comfortable lead. But at the same time, you don't want to get too comfortable with it.
Exactly. Just control, kill the clock, and when you need to, take that shot to kill that shot clock. But other than that, just control the ball. And I mean, they've been doing that pretty much all game. They just need to continue with their game.
Yeah, and SCAD needs the ball to score. So
exactly.
They're getting a little aggressive here, which is what you would think they would do here in the fourth quarter.
Mrakovic dodging inside, takes a shot. Beautiful save by Polka there as he gets a hold of the rebound as well, and he'll kick back out.
Yeah, Polka's made some great saves today for SCAD. I mean, let's not forget that, and he just made another one.
Oh, exactly. Yes, I mean, he's been pretty clutch in the cage. It's just been when you have that many shots thrown at you, it's difficult to block every one of them.
Yeah. He's I'm sure he's frustrated too, as everybody are. You can tell they're frustrated on all sides of the field. But the game of lacrosse, you could score at any moment, at any time, and you can score in bunches really easily.
Exactly.
And you have a flag down here,
as SCAD did earlier with two-goal run that they had. SCAD driving to the cage. McQuaid takes a shot, and that looks like it would be a glove save by Cam Hulse.
I think what happened was he slipped as he was taking a shot, and it bounced awkwardly and went out of bounds. Had he not slipped, I think that would have been a goal, because there was no one there to stop him.
That's the first real rain-induced slip that we've seen today, and that was a hard cut for him. So that makes sense that would happen.
Yeah, and it's going to get more slick out there, I think, as the day goes on and continues to rain.
Sinkowitz at the top, now off to McQuaid. Off to Farabee on the far side. Sinkowitz, they're keeping it at the top. Sinkowitz takes a shot, and that'll be saved by Cam Hulse.
Yeah, that's a situation that you got to bury those. You can't shoot at the goalie stick. You need to put more behind that shot.
I mean, he had the lane there. He just and there's a shot. There's Polka.
Well, that's what you need. You need him to do.
Absolutely.
You need him to shoot the ball.
Polka's showing up. That's his first of the day, which is that might have been the issue for SCAD all day. They have not gotten the ball to Polka in a position where he can score.
Well, and I said this earlier. He's got one shot, and you just sort of keep the kick and shoot. You need to continue to get him on the field and let him take those shots from outside. He did it yesterday against St. Andrews, and he was scoring. He was hitting pipes. He was scoring. So continue to do that.
After the day, use your kids, because after the day they have a 2-week vacation, if they win today, they have a 2-week vacation to go on before they go on to Greenville. So, use them.
Yeah.
And out of bounds.
That was off Liberty.
On Liberty. SCAD will bring it in. Douglas Henry to work on the transition.
They did a good job on there of clearing the ball.
Nice redirection by SCAD.
He's still. Oh no!
And a long crossfield pass.
No, it looks like it's on Liberty.
I did not see the flag. McQuaid. This would have to be on Liberty. As Horsey at the top.
Well, in this situation, you want to push the cage here. You're going to have a penalty, so
Exactly.
you want to push the cage and not hold on to it.
Horsey looking to push, as you said, and he will get pushed back out. He'll use that.
Horsey.
He'll use that height to get right in the bottom corner, and that'll put SCAD up on the board yet again, 9-5.
He's got those long arms and those long legs, and they couldn't take him down. He made a great shot. And you know what? This gives them a little momentum here. It's 10 and a half minutes left.
Exactly. There's plenty of time. Like you were saying earlier, it doesn't take long to tie this game up if they get the right opportunities. And face-offs coming up is another opportunity. They just have to beat out Fianco.
Yeah.
He's been the powerhouse at face-off today, and they put. They're going to put Gualtieri in. He's the one that started the games at face-off. So we'll see what he can do today.
Yeah, this is a big possession for SCAD if they can get this, because they got the momentum.
And if you'll notice, we have all of our timeouts left for both teams. So this could come down to, hopefully for SCAD, come down to
big possession,
having to use them. Yes.
Big ground ball. And you want to save your timeouts too. You absolutely need them and don't want to waste them early. And both teams have them, so this is going to get interesting here. If SCAD can run off a goal here, this is going to you'll probably see Liberty take a timeout to kind of just gather their team and regroup and make adjustments.
McQuaid dodging in as the rain gets a little bit harder out here, that was a tough pass to make. As a coach, that drives you crazy because he didn't need to make that. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was right across the front of the cage, and Cam Holtz got his stick on it. However, it would be turned back over to SCAD. Loose ball push? Was that it?
That was a loose ball push. Well, here, you want Polka to get open here. They have the pole on him still. Here comes McQuaid.
McQuaid with the shot.
That's tough.
That was a sharp angle for McQuaid to take, and that will go to Liberty.
And then once again, they didn't have anybody back up the cage. That's the third time today that happened, and that's just, you need possessions, and that, you lose a possession like that, you always got to have somebody backing up the cage at all times. And
exactly. And that's just planning, and your shooter has to watch, watch for someone back there at X to back you up. Otherwise, you're going to lose possession just like they just did to Liberty.
Yeah, you're going to see Liberty get a good value this possession here and look for the shot. I don't see them pushing the cage too early, but they're that type of team where if they find the guy, they're going to look to feed him real fast.
And at the top, Armstrong working around to the near wing, and a high pass pulled down by that's Garuglio. Ball in the air on the ground, and there's a scrum for it. As Polka, the goalie for SCAD, gets involved, and he'll feed it back out. This is a key possession for SCAD right here. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Ball, once again. Errant pass. The ball goes out of bounds. Was slowed down, so there was a chance to get to it. It will be SCAD ball. Sinkowitz to bring it in. I'm not sure.
The flag down here. It looks like it was a 30-second. I think it was offsides or a delay game. It's on Liberty. I didn't hear the call. I didn't see what the referee signaled
either.
there, but it looks like it's a 30 seconds on Liberty.
All right, so Sinkowitz to bring it in with this man-up opportunity. Sinkowitz driving to the top, off to Polka. Polka passing off to the far wing. And this is something we haven't seen much today.
That's it. Yeah, he was weighing up way too high to the head, and that's not good because your starting goalie's going to have to come out. The penalty's on him, I believe.
And we've already seen the starting goalie come out on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
When Polka did pretty much the same thing.
Right. And this is a bit like another opportunity for SCAD to get another goal here, to get even closer. And if you look at it, SCAD's really winning this half at the score. If you know, they've scored 4 goals and Liberty's only scored 1, so this should be interesting.
8:08 left in the game, 9-5, Liberty up. As
up 2 men here, SCAD is. So this is you need to score on this.
Absolutely, you got to take advantage of this. And Liberty will take a timeout.
Yeah, you know, as a coach, and if you're a man up and 2 men, this is a must goal here, because it's a momentum changer in essence. Because, you know, if they score here, it's 9-6, and if they don't score, it's going to drain them a little bit because they were up 2 men.
So what's the advantage for Liberty to take a timeout here?
Probably just because to stop the bleeding a little bit. I think, you know, SCAD's on a little bit of a run, a little momentum, and they're just trying to make adjustments. And, you know, the fact that talk about, well, they're down 2 men, so they want to probably talk about packing it in and not stepping out and putting the sticks up in the passing lanes.
Okay. Well, it's 9-5 here with 8:08 left in the fourth quarter of what has actually been a very good game. SCAD has had some issues clearing the ball, but when they've had the ball, they've made a lot of attempts on cage, and they haven't met their mark every time. But it's still been an exciting game back and forth.
Yeah, you know, SCAD hasn't given up. You know, they've been out of rhythm today, but they have not given up. They played hard throughout the game.
And you know, this isn't SCAD's first visit here. I mean, they've been here many times, so they know what they need to do, and let's see if they can do it with 8:08 left.
You know, they made some adjustments at halftime. You can tell because they're, you know, if we were to play the second half and on, they're winning the half. So
exactly
on the scoreboard.
As we start out now, SCAD to come in. Nathan Travis off to Sinkowitz at the top. Polka off to Sinkowitz again. Sinkowitz with a shot, and that will be kicked back out to midfield. SCAD able to get a hold of the ball. Still on the ground, actually. SCAD will pick it up. Off to Polka at the top. Polka takes a shot, and that will go wide. Backed up, actually. So there's something learned for SCAD. Sinkowitz having trouble getting a hold of the ball. Polka looked to get the ball, but he will lose it over to Liberty, as Liberty will look to kill these penalties.
Yeah, they were in a circle on man up. I don't understand why they didn't have a guy in the crease, and especially being up 2 men. That kind of hurt them more than anything because it made it easier for the defense to defend that. And just an unforced turnover. And you know what? That might be the game changer right there. You're up 2 men, can't take advantage of it. Liberty gets the ball and essentially is going to run out the penalty. And with 7 minutes left, it's going to be tough.
Absolutely. Makrovich at the top of the box now. 2 defenders on him. Now off to Miller. Miller working around to X. Once again, they're just trying to kill this penalty. They're keeping it on the outside. Tobias now up near midfield. Not a lot of pressure by SCAD at this point.
Yeah, they're extending a little bit. Right now, I mean, you got to be very careful how you extend against this team and this offense because they're so explosive.
Tobias working around to the far wing and back to GLE.
Yeah, they're trying to double right now because they're still up a man. I think it was an unreleasable penalty on the goalie, so they're just going to run the clock out.
6:06 left in the fourth quarter as Haywood takes the ball.
Yeah, they're even now. And Liberty calls a timeout, which is good.
Yeah, reset your players as you have 2 new players on the field, and they're already celebrating. There's just under 6 minutes left. Liberty is, with a 9-5 score and SCAD not able to put 2 and 2 together. It looks like they might be able to go ahead and celebrate.
Well, that kind of that man up, not scoring on that man up and being up 2 men, kind of was demoralizing to SCAD because, essentially you score that goal, that really kind of puts the juice into your team and takes the momentum out of Liberty's hands, and that all the momentum's now with Liberty because they made a great stop on that man down and got possession of the ball, ran the penalty out, and now they took a timeout, which is a great timeout. Regroup, put your right personnel in there. And with 5:57 left, it's going to be real tough for SCAD to get back in this. Had they scored with about 7 minutes left when they were that man up, I think you would be saying something different right now. But Liberty, they all game they've done a great job, and they've possessed the ball. They've won the ground ball battle. So we'll see what happens.
Liberty now out of timeouts. SCAD still with 2. So if they do come back, those will be useful for them. Just under 6 minutes left. And Liberty will start out with the ball. Mrakovic will start on the near wing.
It's a great dodge.
Immediately dodging towards the cage, and a check will knock it out.
That's gonna be a whole push, and it'll go to SCAD. Yeah, that was a great trail check by SCAD on Mrakovic, and this is where you got to push the cage right now.
And not able to get a hold on the ball is Travis. They'll have to pass out instead of taking the bit of a fast break that they had there, the transition. But they'll set up. SCAD will set up. Travis with it.
Oh, hit the post, and a great save by the goalie.
That's Nathan Travis with the shot, and again saved by Cam Holst as Liberty takes back control.
Yeah, the goalie's best friend right there hit the post, and they got possession.
5 minutes left in the game as Liberty staying on the outside. This is Armstrong at the top. Yeah,
they're doing a good job. Right now, they don't need to rush anything. Run some clock off. You're good right now. You don't need to push the cage and keep the ball out of SCAD's hands right now.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they're doing. Not driving. This will be Armstrong to Tobias around back at X. Tobias on the near wing. Up at the top now to Miller.
And now the shot clock's on. The referee signaled for the shot clock, so you're going to see them push the cage here.
So Miller's probably going to go for a shot here. He'll pass off. I was wrong. That's Armstrong. Clock running down. Armstrong with the shot. Now, did that hit the goalie? Does that count?
We got a penalty here on SCAD. No, that ball didn't hit the goalie. That actually the defenseman knocked it down. Okay. He just threw it at the net. But SCAD looks like they got a penalty. I believe it was a slash. And
just under 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not helping SCAD capitalize on their momentum earlier in this quarter. As Armstrong off to Haywood, off to Mrakovic. And SCAD looking to knock down some of these passes. Feed to the center as Gargulio looking for his 5th, doesn't get it. Miller also takes a shot, and that will be blocked and out of bounds.
Yeah, he had no angle on that shot, but
Miller's done that a lot today. He's gone for some no-angle shots. That's at least the 3rd that I can remember. As Armstrong passes off to Haywood, back to Armstrong.
Yeah, you want to teach your attackman to get above goal and extend it when you take those shots.
And SCAD able to get their sticks up on a pass there and sweep it out to midfield. And we will have a stoppage. Okay, so push from behind. This will be on Liberty. It's a SCAD ball. Oh, and
on just threw it right into goalie's defenseman's stick.
SCAD,
yeah.
SCAD picking it back up. Polka attempting to clear it again, and SCAD will do so with 2:45 left.
Yeah, if you're SCAD right now, you just want to push the cage early and often right now. You'll probably see McQuaid dodge to the cage right now. He's probably one of the better dodgers.
And he does. McQuaid takes the shot.
A good shot and a great save.
That'll be saved about knee level from Cam Holst.
Good job defensively by SCAD to be hip to hip with their players, with their attackmen. But
Miller will pick up the ball, and with 2:17 left, Liberty looks just to hold on.
Yeah, it's pretty much in the bag here for Liberty. They're just going to run some clock here, and you're going to start to see SCAD extend pressure.
This is Makovic off to the top with Miller, and Lozada in. Haven't seen much of him this game. I think some of the key players are coming off for Liberty at this point. Give your other players some playing time.
Yeah, and SCAD just got a penalty. It's gonna be a slash in the head, and they're probably just gonna run the clock, and SCAD's gonna do everything they can to extend pressure to get the ball, even though they're man down. It was a tough day for SCAD. I think the first half they started off sluggish, and that was really the defining term of the game. The turning point in this game was when they were up 2 men on a man up, and they didn't capitalize on it and score, because that would have been the turning point in the game. Where it could, and SCAD could easily be sitting here right now and have a 9-8 or tie game if they score that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a momentum shift, and Liberty looked to have all the momentum shifts in this game. Once again, you see it on the scoreboard. Just under 1:30 left as we have a stoppage. Liberty will retain the ball. And it'll be back on the far wing, in the back corner with Ryan Miller.
Yeah, they're just gonna run the clock here. You're gonna see them probably get in a big circle and spread out SCAD, because SCAD's down a man, and just burn the clock.
1:23 left in this 9-5 game. Liberty in control. Another thing about the new rules this year, you don't have to stay in the box. Last year, you would have had to stay in the box if you're the winning team under 2 minutes. So, nice thing, you get to spread out a little bit, keep control of the ball a little bit easier because you have more room to run, as that's exactly what Liberty is doing.
Yeah, and that's all you really need to do at this point. There's no reason to go to the cage and risk guys getting hurt or anything like that. But you'll see SCAD's not going to give up. They're going to extend.
Now you'll still see number 11 Trent Lockhart in the crease there, and he's working around to X now, but he's it looks like he might just be getting him some playing time.
Yeah, at this point, you don't got to worry about scoring goals. Obviously you don't want SCAD getting the ball because you can score. They know I'm scoring. That's a push from behind.
And Polka saved that, passed it out, and as you heard, push from behind on Liberty. So it will be SCAD ball. 33 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, if you're SCAD here, you want to move it quick and look to take a shot. You don't want to take too much time off the clock. But at this point, you're just looking to score goals.
And regardless of how fast you can score goals, 33 seconds might be stretching 4 goals a little bit. I I can't say I'm not saying it can't be done, but
it's tough the way that both teams are playing.
Exactly, and especially with Fianco at face-off.
Yeah,
it'd be difficult to get 3 more face-off. 30 seconds left. As SCAD lines up for a shot, McQuaid off to Sinkowitz. Sinkowitz takes the shot. That'll be saved by Cam Holtz. Up at the top now, Polka. 15 seconds left. Shot by McQuaid as Cam Holtz feeds back out to the middle of the field. 5 seconds left. And that will be game here from Northview High School. The Liberty Flames going on to Greenville, South Carolina for the MCLA Championships. I'm not sure where they'll be put at this point, but they're definitely going to Greenville. And what are your thoughts on this game, Pat?
You know, it was all Liberty right from the opening whistle. You know, they did everything right. Offensively, they were scoring. They were making the right looks. They essentially took SCAD out of their game, and SCAD came out sluggish, and they couldn't get back on track. I think they played a better second half, but it was at that point it was too late. And I think the turning point in the game, which could have got SCAD back into it, really was that they were up that man up where they were up 2 men and they couldn't capitalize on it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for watching today. Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah,
Pat?
Good luck to Liberty and the MCLAs and representing the Southeast Lacrosse Conference.
And I also wish Liberty good luck as well. Thank you for watching the SELC Championship, Division II Championship game from Northview High School. Stay tuned because we will have the Georgia Tech rivalry game rehash for the Division I Championship for the rights to go to the MCLA tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right, we're ready to begin the presentation of the Division II Championship recognition. First, runner-up in the SELC Division II, from Savannah, SCAD Bees, represented by number 10, Shelton Polka, an all-conference performer. Congratulations. And now, for your 2013 SELC Division champions, the Liberty Flames, the championship trophy for 2013 will be presented to that guy. Congratulations to Liberty Flames. And now we'd like to recognize the 2013 Division II SELC All-Tournament team. On attack, from Emory, number 23, Ed Covett. From Liberty, number 2, Ryan Miller on the SELC All-Tournament team. Congratulations, Ryan. From Liberty, number 16, Joe Cerulio. And from SCAD, number 2, Cody Sienkiewicz. Those are your 2013 all-tournament attack. The Middies, from Liberty, Cody Sienkiewicz. All right, the Middies, from Liberty, number 20, Bryce Morakovich. From SCAD, number 10, Shelton Polka. Also from SCAD, number 7, Michael McQuaid. And from Liberty, number 21, Derek Haywood. Our all-tournament defense, from Liberty, number 44, Nathan Lowmaster. And from SCAD, number 19, Tyler Horvath. And from Liberty, number 8, Travis Briggs. And our specialist, all-conference, all-tournament team, from Liberty, number 12, Charles Bianco. Our second specialist, from Liberty, number 17, Michael Zampano. And our all-tournament goalkeeper, from Liberty, number 4, Ethan Camholt. That is your 2013 Division II SELC All-Tournament team. Congratulations to all the participants.